Are
And
we live?
I just hit live and it already zoomed you in like crazy.
Oh, what the hell?
Let me go to the single. Hi, folks. We're just going live, and this program doesn't like Steph's Skype feed anymore. It keeps zooming her crazy close or crazy wide. So I'm just fixing that shot, so she'll be with us in a sec. How are you? Happy Monday. Hope you're having a good one. She's almost back to normal human size. Let's get her in. Thank you for joining us tonight, Stephanie. Hello, hello, hello.
I'm here. I'm here. Do I have to like
Hopefully,
move? There-
yeah,
Oh,
a little bit is
hello.
a,
I'll
that's
just move
good.
to the right.
There you go,
Okay.
perfect.
What's up,
Hi,
everybody?
I hope you
Hello.
guys had a great weekend. It was a long weekend here in the States. 4th of July is a holiday, so I think they had the 3rd off officially. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference when you're self-employed, but it was a nice sunny weekend, lots of people out. Hope you guys had a good one. My 4th of July sale, I extended it for one day. It's still on today because I know a lot of people weren't in the office the last few days. So if you want to check that out, you can go to the website. That'll be coming down tonight. Biggest sale I have run for the year. Now, before we get in and look at your questions, Steph has had questions sent in for me, and I don't know what they are, and vice versa. Our theme for this week for the live show is people shots, and we have a sponsor on board for it, and I'll just tell you a bit about offer that they have going on, and then come back to tell you more about the comp and all of that good stuff. This week's live show and our people theme competition is sponsored by KEH Camera. KEH are running an online buying event for our community so you can sell or trade any of your gear without having to leave the house. Click the link below and you can schedule a video call with one of their buyers, and if you come to an agreement, they'll send a courier to your door to collect your used gear and post you out a check. Quick, simple and hassle-free. Check the website for full details and to book your appointment. So, check that out, folks. KEH will be giving away a couple of $100 vouchers to our top shots for this week's people theme competition. And the online buying thing is really cool. I actually did it myself. That's the footage you saw about 2 weeks ago now, and sold off a few pieces that I wasn't using. And you know, you don't want to be dealing with I don't want to be dealing with eBay or Craigslist at any time. It's such a time waste. But right now, you certainly don't want to be going out and meeting strangers. There was probably 4 or 5 items that I ended up agreeing on a price and selling, and 2 or 3 that I decided not to take the deal. So it's a nice no pressure situation, and it's really cool to actually have an expert going through and looking at your gear and telling you, show me this, show me that, so you get to know what it is that they're actually looking for. So check that out in the description below. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing pretty good. It's just, cold in my apartment, super hot outside. It's humid. Okay, actually, just a heads up for everybody.
Oh
My
yeah.
power, okay, so my Wi-Fi went down earlier today, a couple hours ago, and then an hour ago, everything just shut off because we are having like a storm over here. There's a flood warning and everything. And I'm just hoping it doesn't all crash during the stream. So fingers crossed.
Well, we'll look for you in the chat if it does. For those commenting on Steph's blanket/robe/fashion statement, her puppy runs very hot, so their house runs very cold, which means they tend to be rugged up. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah.
So, if you have questions, please leave them below and pop a little Ask Matt, Ask Steph hashtag on them. I have a few here for Stephanie, so let me start things off. Tom asks, how tall are you, Stephanie? And you can either give him the honest answer or your lying modeling answer.
Oh, what? Well, typically I tell people I'm 5'5", but I'm actually 5'4.5". But I haven't measured myself in a really long time. So who knows? I could be 5'5" now.
Take the heels off and let's see really what what it is. Proxter asks, do you ever not smile? Lol.
When I'm mad. Actually, no. Even when I'm mad, it's kind of like weird. No, I I don't smile all the time. Actually, when I'm doing work, I'm very focused. And back in college, people thought I was like really angry at somebody because I would just like be working and I just like have a really angry looking face. So it's
RBF.
just, yeah, when
Oh,
I'm studying or doing
working.
work. Yeah.
WBF. Um, are you a morning person?
It's, I don't know. It depends on, I guess, my mood. If I know I have like things to do, no, I can't even say that. It ranges.
But you
Some,
but as
yeah.
in not like do you function? If it ranges, I would say that means you're not. Because if you're a morning person, that means you typically go to bed early and get up early. But
I think it
you
depends on the weather. If it's like rainy outside, I'm like, oh, I just want to stay in bed. But if it's bright and sunny, I'll be like, ooh, okay, I'm awake. I'm like a flower.
oh, sure you are, just like a flower. Let me grab a couple of questions here from the chat, and then I'll give you a chance to load up the ones that you have for me. Gord
Okay,
W
cool.
asks, which do you think is coming first, the Q mono or the SL mono? I have no idea, and the fact that they've never had one of either of those, I don't know if there is one of either coming even. I don't know that they would do an SL mono. Q mono could be cool, but I don't know that they will. Um, Above, Alfred is asking, Steph, what's your nationality?
I am Vietnamese. Woo-hoo.
Woot woot. Um, I saw one above. I think Robert asked, how is the lens? I have been shooting with the Leica Noctilux 50mm 0.95 lens. I shot with it not a fair bit, a few times in the past, and I just wasn't a huge fan of it. It seemed like it had really, as you would expect, incredible bokeh, but that was kind of its one trick. So I wanted to get it back in to test out a little bit more. So I will share with you my thoughts once I've had a really good chance to look through them. Doug is waiting to see your puppy. And
He is actually just sitting there waiting for me. Usually I try to feed him so he could just go to sleep during the stream and not bother me. But right now he's actually just sitting there, just waiting.
judging. No, that's a cat thing,
Yeah.
isn't it? Judging. Um,
My turn? My turn?
sure.
Okay. Let's see. What cleaning products do you use to clean your lens? Is also a
Oh,
question I have.
that's a good one. And I normally would have some right here on my desk, but I don't know that I do. There should be some in the bag. Kate will grab them. There's a few different options. I generally use a rocket blower to get off the loose dust. Just bring the whole box, sweetie. And oh, this looks precarious. Go behind the tripod, please.
Oh god.
I usually I'll use a rocket blower, and then these guys Zeiss lens wipes. We can maybe pop a link below for you. They're really cheap. They come in boxes of 200, 400, and 600. I used to get the 600s, but I did the math, and at the moment, the 220 box worked out to the cheapest per piece. They're like a couple of cents each, and they are, they're actually quite good because when I cut myself, when Steph and I are shooting and I do something stupid, you can use them to like clean the wound as well. But basically, to get any dust off, and then just a soft circular motion, and that cleans them up nicely, doesn't leave any residue on there. And they're made by the Zeiss, so they're made for optics. It's not like something that's made to clean a screen but might harm coatings. They're all safe and kosher. Do you have some others?
Oh yeah. Um Actually, this could be a plug. Is it worth spending money on a professional course for photography?
Did you? Was that me? Did I put that question in?
No, it wasn't. It was actually like somebody. His name is Jaron T. Jacobs.
Well, a big part of my business is selling training for photographers, so I would like to think that it is, and I get great feedback on the courses that I put out. But that's a question you're going to have to do for yourself. So either if you're looking at doing it as a business, then I personally think education is one of the most important things. I would say getting your craft up to the level that it needs to be to deliver reliable, professional results, and then also taking some training on the business and bookkeeping, planning and marketing side of things, because that's where most businesses fall down. And I do have a business of photography course as well. That's all at the July 4th sales. If you want to take a look, all of those things are in the bundle, so you can check them out there.
And it ends at midnight EST tonight.
I was just going to put it down after the live show, basically. But yeah, I'll leave it up for a few hours
Oh,
before I go to bed tonight. So yeah, probably midnight EST. Okay, Gord W said that Dr. Kaufman mentioned in an interview they'll be expanding the monochrome line in the near future. Cool. Maybe ask him what they're going to do then, because I don't have any, secrets from Leica. I'm sorry. Let's see. Did you have another one? Otherwise, I'll jump into some more for you and that are coming through on text.
just a quick one. Just want to ask if the Nikon 18 to 55 kit lens is good enough for portraits.
Sure, if that focal range and aperture is going to do it for you. The image quality is way above what you would expect for the price. The build quality is about what you would expect for the price. Get the latest generation one and it'll perform great. You're not going to get a super blurry background, but something like that, and then say a 50mm f1.8 lens, even the cheapest, the older style one that's like around $100, as a combo, they'll be a really good start for you. Ask Steph, what's the best thing a new photographer has done to make you feel comfortable during a shoot?
During a shoot? I mean, I guess it's not being creepy. I feel like there's, as long as you don't do creepy things, it's pretty much fine. But I think the best thing is just professionalism, showing me the images after you've taken them, and provide a bathroom for me to change in would be nice too. I don't think there was like a best thing.
A lack
Honestly.
of bad things is a best, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's yeah. It's just, I don't know how else to explain that.
That's not true, one. He just said in the chat that everything he does comes off as creepy, unfortunately.
What?
Not true. He was great
No,
on our
that is
recent shoot.
so not true. I could talk about anime with him like forever.
I see Colin Cameron is replying to No Fantasy. What was No Fantasy's question? I guess about where should he submit the images. The images, the weekly show, go to mattgranger.com/live. That's where you'll find the details on how to submit those. A couple that I've seen be repeated already, so they obviously really want an answer. Rico, is it possible to post all the Friday photo submissions so we can all enjoy everyone's work? Yes and no, not the way we currently do it, because I don't just have permission to put everyone's pictures on a website or something like that. If we went back to doing it on like Flickr or something, so people submit them to a pool, then we could do it that way and you could just go to the pool. There's a lot of different ways you can run these kind of things. You can just show the 5 finalists and give them 10 minutes of airtime each. You can show 200 and give them 15 seconds each, or you can do what I'm doing, which is to choose out what I think are the best and a good cross-section of images that will help the community. So for now, the answer is it's possible, but it's not something I'm looking to do. And another one that got repeated again was, where is it? Any budgetography episodes coming soon? I don't have any filmed right now. I do have one coming that is looking at kind of older versus newer technology, so that kind of falls within that realm. Hopefully you'll find that one fun. It's just difficult at the moment. I get a couple of hours a week if I'm lucky with someone to be able to shoot with Steph or Yasmin or Johanna, and that's it. Charan Gurupura asked Matt, who is smart, Matt or Tony Northrup? I hope it's who is smarter, and maybe not an or, maybe it can be both of us. I haven't seen his IQ test results to answer that one, honestly. This one I didn't really get, Steph. So Brandon asked, what class year were you when you graduated? Doesn't everyone graduate at the same year?
Oh, no, it's like class year. So what year did you graduate?
Oh, that's a polite way of asking how old you are.
Oh, I graduated high school in 2010 and college in 2015. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I got married in 2010 and turned 35 in 2015. Huh.
Oh my
God. Carl Tanner, where's 2009? Whoops, I just got in trouble. 2009. I do it based on my age because I'm born in January of the year. Anyway, yeah, I'm a monster. I got the age right though. Someone.
Yeah, but that's the age.
Sorry, Steph, I can't hear you breaking up. Carl's asking, where's my hair? I finally got to go to a hairdresser, which was very nice. Found a place in the city, a Japanese barber that had like plastic partitions between each of the little booths, and it was pretty cool. It was like a third or a quarter of the price of the places in my suburb. And at the end, it's like a long Dyson vacuum that they get all the hair off you so then you don't have any on your shirt at all.
That's cool.
I can't share that. So that's where it's gone. And the rest is just, male pattern baldness. Steph, describe your character in 5 words. Maybe we should do that for each other, but no, describe yourself. That's the question you got.
In 5 words.
You only have 2 left.
Wait, what?
And now that's it. In 5 words, wait, what?
Damn it.
Okay, very good.
I think that is a pretty accurate depiction of how I am, though. Dang. 5 words. Describe myself. Let's see.
Decisive.
I know, indecisive. That's one, which is very much true. Workaholic. I don't think this is not one word, but I'm pretty much a low-key bum. You agree?
Bum.
Come on.
Okay. That's all hyphenated, I think.
Yes, low-key bum. I'm impatient, and I can't think of a word, but basically I'm easy to anger.
Irritable.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
There you go. Some questions here. Ian is interested in landscape photography. Any thoughts or
Wait, but you didn't answer it for yourself, though.
I wasn't asked. This is questions for Steph.
Oh. Then, look, somebody asked for you.
You're a liar. Ian asked, he's interested in landscape photography. Any thoughts on ND filters or brands? Search the channel. I did a whole big showdown between different ND filters and grad filters, showing the side-by-side results, so you can check that one out. Andrew is asking, should he stay or go get tacos? In that situation, I would always go get tacos.
Yeah.
um, yes. Steph, how long have you been doing martial arts? By the way, love your sense of style and humor.
Oh, thank you. Cool. My bumminess, yes. I started when I was like 7, so I'm 28 now.
A lot. Doug asks, ask Steph, describe Matt. Take as many words as you'd like. Asshole.
No, he said, ask Matt, describe yourself in 5 words or less. I see it.
I see the mute button on my screen. All right then, next.
What?
I guess this is for me. Have you ever used, oh, maybe it's for you. Have you ever used the Sony 200 to 600 mil lens, Steph? If so, what are your thoughts? Is it worth the money? I'm
How much
guessing
is
not.
it?
I have only in passing. I have a friend who's really into bird photography and he loves it for the price. He has access to much higher end gear, but for the size, weight, and price, that's the one he goes for with the original A9 for bird shooting. So you can take that what you like. Jimmy picks. Steph, what kind of car do you drive and or what's your favorite car?
Oh, Honda CRV.
And that's your favorite as well?
I don't really know much about cars, so I would have to say yes, it is my favorite car.
Very good then. Matt, are you going to invite Steph for a sushi dinner on your seafood channel? I took her for seafood a couple of times on the channel. I think they're live. Sushi, yeah, but Steph isn't eating out at the moment, so not right now.
Matt, have you ever thought of doing a masterclass on lighting and photographing dark skin?
I haven't specifically. It is a topic though that I cover in some of my other courses. It's, in a sense, it's the same, but in another sense, it does have some challenges in the same way that shooting really pale skin can have its challenges. In the intimate series, we do a segment specifically on that and about getting tonal balance in your images. I haven't thought of doing it, but I think it could be something that's worth doing as I don't think it would be a whole 5-hour course, but as a, if you're calling a masterclass as something that's really long and start to finish, but as an additional module or, like a series of shoots that cover the fundamentals of that kind of thing, it's a good idea. Thanks. Doug, where are we most looking forward to travel to once this is all over? You want to go first?
I actually don't have any travel plans.
I guess it's goals rather than plans.
Yeah. Japan.
Boom. There you go. If it's safe, I will go Iceland, Switzerland, London, Hong Kong, Japan, Ethiopia this year.
All in that order. I'm just kidding, I don't know.
Close, but not exactly.
Oh.
And hopefully Australia. And if the rest of all those places are safe to go to, then yes, I would get there. Let's see what we've had sent through in terms of questions. Sam Coleman, if you had to start over in... Oh, this is a good one, maybe for both of us. If you had to start over again in photography, what would you do differently? Let's see. I probably would try to... I would take the step a little earlier to going into full-time work. It kind of worked out, and you have to do things when you're looking at making changes in your life. You have to think of yourself, your family, and those around you, and do it when the timing feels right. But I there's a lot of there's little steps along the way that I would have liked to have done earlier. Something that I think I'll probably look back on in 10 years and still think now I should have done it earlier is when to take on help and build the team and invest in really training people up to be able to take over more of the things that I do myself would be valuable. That's the main things. I mean, there's lots of lessons along the way, you know, when I've made books or made products or run workshops that as you do the first one, you learn lessons and then you refine it on the second one. But, you know, I don't know that that's I wish that I just had full foresight of everything that could go wrong in a publishing process without having ever done it before. That's not really realistic. What about you? If you were starting again in this industry, would you start differently?
I feel like, oh, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't, just because I have learned so much along the way. And yes, I've had a lot of like downfalls and like different like negative and positive experiences, but I feel like I wouldn't be where I am now without all of that. And I feel like if I were to change anything, I wouldn't know where I would end up. So
Oh,
I
this
don't
isn't a
think I
science fiction movie. Come on.
I mean, I'm just serious though, because like I feel like I have learned so much. I mean, it would have been great to be in the industry sooner, but I feel like I could always say that, but it may not have been the right time.
All right. No fan. No, Charan Gurupta is asking as well what current setup we're using. It's all in the description below. I see that's Kate Yobo has also linked you to some of it, but it's all the live streaming setup is in the description. You can see the whole thing. Let's see, candlelit photography. We have a whole module on that in the natural and available light course, which is half price for the next couple of hours. So if you go to the July 4th page or just straight to mattgranger.com/natural light, we have a whole thing about balancing it, different camera settings, different angles for getting the most out of the candlelight. It can be really beautiful. It can be really challenging. It's the most difficult thing is, it's not actually that difficult, but one thing that I see people really struggle with is having your subject the right distance from the candles and the right distance from any other lights in the scene to get a balance that works. So you don't just have a pitch black background or a blown out person or too much of the background lit that you don't want. Richard, you did a series educating Tina. Do a Steph's favorite shoots and guide her through achieving her dream shots. Well, that's not a question, that's a directive. Okay, sure. Thanks, Richard. I'll be sure to get right on that. I am not sure. I'm lost in the questions. Did you have any others, Steph?
Hold on, let me see. Have you guys seen the Yongnuo phone camera? It's only available in China.
Phone camera. What does that mean, phone camera?
I don't know. I'm gonna Google it now.
I know the company. They mostly make trash, but I know they started ripping off Canon lenses. I didn't know they had a phone or a camera.
I guess they have a. I don't know.
What, sorry, Steph?
No, I'm just saying. I guess they have like a new camera, but I have no idea. But I think that's pretty much all of the questions I got. But then again, there are some repetitive ones like, "Oh, when are you guys gonna travel again?" So.
Richard asking, can we have a manual masterclass? Sure, but I do in all of my flash classes, I teach in manual anyway. So if you check out something like Take Control of the Light, that already takes you through that. We go through all of the different manual variables and bring in the extra variable, taking the exposure triangle into basically a square by having flash as one of the variables as well. So if you check that out, you will by the end of it, you will understand Flash and you will understand shooting in manual. So check that one out, mattgranger.com/light. Ted Shields, do you still consider yourself as a Nikon guy? For those who don't know, when I started the channel 8 or 9 years ago, I chose the channel name That Nikon Guy because I had a bag full of Nikon equipment, and I thought, why not, appeal to the audience that I know the most about the equipment without really, I literally created the YouTube account, chose the name on the same day, and then put out my video 2 days later. And it's shocking, and it's still up, so I encourage you to go search back through to my first video and have a look. Do I still consider myself a Nikon guy? I would say I love my Nikon equipment. I own by far the most equipment is Nikon, but that I am a lot less romantic about any brand these days. The A9 that I'm filming with is an incredible camera. The M10P is probably my most enjoyed camera for a day of personal shooting. And the D850 I think is the best DSLR I've ever owned or used, but there's things from every company that I also don't like, and I try to be objective because of this kind of part of my business, this audience. Yeah. Ask Matt, Steph, do you have a favorite photo theme? And it can't be pets.
Oh.
For me, it's people in general. Since being in the States, I haven't been doing so much implied or intimate portraiture, but that was my background, and it's still what I think I'm best at. But people in general. However, going around, travel photography is something that I probably do more than anything now, but it's still the people aspect that I enjoy the most. What about you?
I'm going to answer this from a model's perspective because a lot of times it's photos taken of me, but I like editorials more just because I feel like it's very creative, but a second would be implied just because it's also very fun and artistic, and human body is beautiful. What can I say?
Yep. Check out our implied course. Actually, we've had so many questions about courses. The bundle of all of Steph and my courses, so wedding photography, implied nude portraiture, natural light masterclass, and the off-camera flash workshop. Did we have one other? I think that may be it. They're up for like almost 70% off, so you can check those out. That's ending tonight. Okay. Jason Baird, do you think that Sony 20mm 1.8 is good enough for Astro? Sure, 1.8 is plenty. Of course, it depends on what camera which specific camera model you're using and what results you're happy with in terms of your ISO. Okay, Shane is saying, don't be so hard on myself. My channel helped him a lot when he was getting started. I'm not being hard on myself. I said the first video I made was terrible. You can watch it. But I'm glad you found it useful, and it got me here in more ways than one. So I'm not hard on myself, and I don't regret anything about it. William Inbody, what image had your biggest sale? I don't know about single image. There's shots that I've sold more prints of, and then the books, as a collection, certainly. There'd be shots from the books that I haven't done the numbers that would have sold the most, but for just biggest paydays on basically individual images or individual shoots, it would be something that I did for a big company back in Sydney that was shooting a whole series of work that then went all around the country for billboards and websites and all of that. That wasn't one shot, but it was kind of a 3-day shoot. Or some stuff actually that I shot for kind of a B-grade celebrity, in Australia from Europe. They got syndicated to some European newspapers and magazines. That was a great payday.
Oh.
PP Bizu, are you a couple? Asked Matt. A couple of pounds overweight? Yes.
Or
Steph and I
yeah, I
aren't.
mean, yeah.
We're both in relationships, but not with each other.
Mhm.
I guess you're new, so welcome. Thanks for joining us. Steph and I met about 3 or 4 months after I moved to New York City with my wife and cat, and we've collaborated and worked since, and I'm great friends with her boyfriend and her with my wife. Friends, collaborators, not partners. It's a fair enough question, but yeah, we're not. Archie Pina, can I guesstimate the newest Sony A7S and Canon EOS R? Will they be in the Panasonic S1H price range? I guess they'll be around the same or slightly above. But I really don't follow the rumors, I'm sorry, so I don't have any idea what the newest A7S is supposed to have. Somebody's saying that crying, I think Matt hates me. I'm not sure why that is, but okay, I don't. I'm sorry. Maybe I missed one of your questions. Oh, here we go. I got the text through. Here's a question that Jimmy Pix keeps on asking. Why do you do Q&A on Friday also? Wouldn't it be better just to do photo entries on Friday? I believe more people would want to see their photos on Friday and the questions become repetitious. Because 2 hours of non-stop, it's nice to be able to stop and take a break, and Steph and I have usually caught up already, so I feel like the overall show is well balanced. And just keep in mind, I get the sentiment, and I'm glad, and the show only exists because of your participation. But whilst I see a couple of people in the room tonight have a specific angle and opinion that there should be more images shown each week, we have a lot of people submitting, and I can't just change it based on 1 or 2 people wanting it this way, because 1 or 2 people want it that way and this way and this way and this way. So this is what the show is at the moment. I really appreciate you guys entering and submitting, but not every image is going to be shown, and that's just the way it is. And we're going to take some questions, because as you can see here, people ask questions 6 times and then start saying that Matt hates me if I don't answer their question. And ironically, their question is about you should answer less questions. You must see the irony in that. Oof. Crazy McGee, what's your favorite Z mount lens? Probably the 24-70 f2.8. Steph, what's your favorite movie stunt you've done so far?
I haven't done a lot of stunts because I'm not really a stunt woman. I usually just classify myself as an action actress because stunt people, they're so talented and insane. I did do one stunt for this one short where basically this guy had me and he threw me against the wall, and I had to hit the wall and roll off and just kind of die there on the floor. So that was fun because they were just like, yeah, just keep rolling no matter what. And I was like, okay. And they patted me up, threw me against the wall because I'm super light, and they just kept rolling until I just was flat on the ground. And I was like, cool,
Oh,
nailed it.
do you still have the
One
padding?
take.
Can I throw you against a wall? That sounds super
But
fun.
I don't have the padding anymore. I borrowed like some of the stunt guys,
Just
and I'm really
bring,
tiny, so they
bring
were.
all of your sweaters and stuff, and we'll just gaff tape you into like a big
Oh my
ball,
god!
and then we can like kick you about. That'll be really fun. You are
I
so
mean,
tiny and light.
motorcycle gear is like really good stunt gear. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Sharon had a question back there asking about the something or other flash. I've not used it, so I'm sorry. You know, sometimes rather than answering every question as I don't know, I can't answer 20 times through an episode, if I skip your question, it could be because I don't have a meaningful answer to give you. It's not that I hate you, and it's not that I haven't seen it necessarily. Sometimes I don't see them, but that's just, yeah. Sam, I'll answer your question, although I don't really love the negative spin on questions like this, but what are the 5 most useless pieces of kit that you ever purchased? 3 of them would be UV filters, although I don't know that I've bought 3, but I think UV filters deserve 3 of the top 5 spots for wastes of money in the photography world. I have too many bags, so that's something. Every time I move, I end up giving away or selling half a dozen bags, and then I just find myself again with too many bags. Right now, I have too many bags. And then I would say something that have done and that I see a lot on my trips, so I would recommend you guys be aware of this. If you're buying a tripod for travel, you do have to balance, if it's too light, it's not going to even be sturdy. So if you're going on a dedicated, hardcore, long exposure astrophotography landscape shooting trip, then yeah, take something heavy duty. If you're doing everyday travel photography and may want a tripod here and there, don't take something too heavy, because something that weighs a pound or 2 will probably come out with you every day. Something that weighs 4 or 5 or 6 pounds probably will be left in the vehicle almost always. I see it regularly. A couple of people will bring tripods on a trip and maybe bring them out one day on the whole trip. So going lighter at the sacrificing a little bit of stability when you're on the road is often worth it to save your back and to make sure it actually gets used. Questions. Have you ever had an injury from stunts, Steph?
I think the most serious that I have gotten was
Got
a sprained
in.
ankle. Yeah, a sprained ankle, which was pretty much my fault because I have weak ankles. I sprained like both ankles twice, so they're not exactly the strongest. Oh my gosh, Lucky, are you barking?
Oh
You
no.
giving me tood?
Oh, you would have loved it. There was this tiny puppy who I guess is about the same age as Lucky, but maybe like a black and white terrier. Like this big, hung out just like Lucky as well. And a guy rounded the corner on an electric scooter, and the dog it was like this big, just took off and tried to bite the wheel. The guy like swerved to miss him, pulled over like 4 foot behind, and the guy turned around to look at what the hell is this dog doing, and the dog just kind of cocked a leg and, well, couldn't cock a leg, just pissed looking at the guy, like total boss move, and then scratched the ground and then walked away.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Um, Charon, if you've been watching me for a long time, I would have thought probably might have heard this. My wife is not camera shy, but she is not a public figure and doesn't want to be. So you could call that she's camera shy in this context. If you're not, any kind of being a public figure in any sense has pluses and minuses. For me, the pluses far outweigh the minuses. For, I would guess, someone like Steph being a woman, you get a different kind of attention, which is often less wanted, although she can handle herself better than I can. So in a sense, it may be less for her than it is for some female models. But in the case of my wife, for example, she doesn't want to be, and the benefit of her being on there is very low, whereas the attention and the interruption of her daily life may be high. We don't know. But she sends you her love, and anyone in the chat who thinks she hates you because she's not answering your question, she assures you it's not that. Others. Eric, have you done much astro, favorite shot, or composition? I haven't done that much. I'm fortunate when I go to places that have amazing opportunities. I do some. Lake Titicaca is incredibly dark and flat. It's such a big lake, you can actually see the curvature of the earth in it. And then in Namibia, some of the nighttime opportunities for shooting there were great. And even just near my hometown in Australia, it's so dark. I did a video on astro selfies you might want to check out. How to light yourself to balance out with an astrophotography shot. Kind of nerdy, but I think fun. So it's already 6:45. Let's see how we're going with questions. We might pull up stumps in 5 minutes, or if there's still lots of questions coming in, we can make it through to 15. Any others that you saw pop up there, Steph, whatever your name is?
Stop. Hold on, let me look. Oh no, Juan, do we get anything? He's usually good at this stuff.
Jimmy Picks, since the whole COVID virus, ever think about doing a driving tour locally? I guess you mean for myself. I wouldn't be running a tour at the moment, that's for sure. We don't own a car I don't own a car anywhere, let alone just in the States. We have rented some a couple of times to go to stay at a place out of town. And I'm actually planning to do that again in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we have done a little bit, but seeing we have cats and I'm not taking cats on a road trip and we're not getting cat sitters come in at the moment, going on an extended trip, the two of us would be difficult, and going on a extended trip and then having to sanitize the Airbnb every night before you stay somewhere new would also be a bit of a bummer. Pull-up stumps means end a game of cricket. So pull-up stumps means to finish.
What's cricket?
That noise that should be playing at your bad joke. Doug Stewart, dream photography trip practicality not an issue. I've had several of my favorite trips already, dream trips already. There's a couple of festivals that I really want to go to that I'm not intending to publicize because I want them to stay authentic and not having groups go to them. In terms of happenings that everyone's aware of, I really want to see and shoot narwhals from helicopters around Faroe Islands, that part of the world. And I want to go see the great apes in the Congo. So that would be two.
Let's see. Oh, Rico West asked us, if you had to give up one, would it be modeling or movie making, and why? I would probably have to say modeling. And it's more so for the reason that it's very it's self-centric, and I feel like movie making is more team-based, and I don't know, I feel like I've been modeling for so long that I get a lot more enjoyment doing the whole movie making aspect, and there's more to it that I really like. So yeah.
Yeah, if you were watching a couple of weeks ago, Steph said she was planning to do a bit less modeling in the future anyway, so that shouldn't come as a surprise.
Yeah, so get your bookings in now.
Yeah,
So
you're
people are
going
hitting
anywhere,
me
right?
up. I know. They're just like, hey, I want to book you for a shoot. I'm just like, perfect timing, because I think I'm going to cut back on a lot of modeling in the future. So, yeah, maybe this whole COVID thing is a sign and I should stop. We'll see what happens.
Give me a break with all of these signs. We had a question about what's for dinner tonight. I don't know that I want to say because I'll make Steph jealous, but what are you having for dinner, Steph?
I am actually making kimchi fried rice with pork belly.
Oh, sounds very nice. You have kimchi fried rice with pork belly. Okay. Do you buy it as like a big piece, or you make it like little tiny slices of pork belly?
Oh,
Or did you buy it already
the
cooked?
big piece.
Already cooked?
No, I just buy the big piece of pork belly, cut it up, Just like cut up some garlic, toss it on a pan, and yeah.
Boom. Boom. Kimchi. That's a good balance. The fattiness of the pork, the kimchi-ness of the kimchi.
Yeah, and the carbs. Yeah.
um, how high on your list is Italy, Sicily? It's definitely on my list, both Italy generally and Sicily specifically. I've got a couple of good friends from Sicily. It's actually on my list that I wouldn't mind going sooner and then doing a road trip around Sicily. And I just got a notification another 50 minutes late that Matt is live with Ask Matt, Ask Steph. Very good. Thank you, YouTube.
Oh wow. Way to go, YouTube. They're really on top of their stuff, huh?
We got a same question again. Maybe Mike asked this and then left, but yeah, am I going to invite Steph for a dinner on my seafood channel? I already answered that. Yes,
Oh
I have.
yeah.
Check the YouTube channel. It's already live. Um, our dinner, we're having barbecue being delivered. So baby back ribs and brisket, mac and cheese, collard greens, and baked beans, and Malbec, and then a coma. Another with the negative angle. What's the most disappointing place you've been for taking photos?
Bathroom.
What would I be
No,
taking a
no.
photo of in the bathroom? Okay.
Hey, I have done a lot of crazy photo shoots.
Okay.
Actually,
So,
is it bathroom?
yeah, when I take
No, I
a
think the
selfie of
woods.
myself first in the morning, that's usually fairly disappointing. The woods. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I hate spiders and there's spider webs everywhere, and it's one of those times where I'm just like, don't think about it, don't think about it, just do it, just do it, just do it, and yeah. And then mosquitoes.
Oh, Juan.
Oh.
I know Juan just left a poop comment about photos in the bathroom.
That's not disappointing then. That is like the most amazing.
I would say, really generally speaking, that going to a place that is on the you must go here, take a photo of this if you're in this city, usually sucks. If I go to Italy, I'm not going to go and take a photo of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, for example. Those kind of things generally are a disappointment, with a big exception of Machu Picchu is absolutely worth it. I think I've been 3 or 4 times now, and every time it still blows my mind. If you go to Peru, go there. It's it deserves its title as a must-see, must-shoot place. It's incredible. Just get on the first bus of the day. Someone saying that you're beautiful because you're beautiful inside. Oh, also sounds like something
Oh,
a serial
thank
killer
you.
might say. Like a Hannibal Lecter thing. You're beautiful on the inside.
Oh my god.
Doug Stewart, how do you find places to shoot in new areas if you aren't going to the touristy spots? 2 ways. One is there's things to shoot everywhere, depending on what your focus is. But 2, everything's online. Just if you are going to Utah, someone mentioned Utah on Friday. If you start searching through Utah images, you'll find so many amazing shots with suggestions, like with geotags and that kind of thing, that you can plan out your own trip based around the things you want to see. It can be hard because on Instagram it'll be the same freaking arch taken by 50,000 different people. But there will be, if you find the most amazing shot of that arch, then go into that person's history and see what else they shot. They may have found some cool places. And then reaching out and connecting with people who've been to the places you're going is always a good option as well. Okay, so let's say a couple more questions. We're almost out of time. Reminder though, get your people theme shots in at mattgranger.com/live. Schedule your session if you're interested in either selling some gear to KEH and making some space in the cupboard and replacing it with a little wad of cash. That's always nice. Or you can just get store credit to trade for something else. Link for that is in the description. And the 4th of July sale is ending tonight. I can't share too much yet, except I would say if you've been thinking about getting one of my courses, maybe do it now, because there's going to be some changes coming, and this is maybe the last sale I'm going to be running in a very, very, very long time. So not just a sales pitch. I'll fill you guys in once everything's confirmed on that. Mike, you need to do a quick search of the channel before asking all these questions. Have you ever, during a photo shoot, wanted to switch roles with the model? One of the first videos Steph and I did was model and photographer switch places. So search it up, and it was a really fun one. And that was when Steph fell in love with Sony mirrorless cameras and tried to steal my 70-200. So that was a fun one.
There was no proof of that.
It's on camera. I think it's on YouTube.
No. Yeah, but it's also a good sign. Like, hey, you guys should hire Matt as a model. He's pretty good.
Especially there's going to be a vacuum in the modeling industry with Steph potentially stepping
Yeah,
out.
I know.
So, let me just hide my fat a little bit more effectively. Have I explored all or most of it since I've been in New York? New York's a gigantic state, so no, I haven't explored all or most of it. I've seen a lot of the city, though. One or two last ones. Hero, is it okay to crank up the ISO if you plan to edit it as a grainy black and white anyway? You do whatever the heck you want. It's your shot. Just, take some options in case you don't like the results you get. A shot I shared on Friday, the stockings, fishnet stocking shot, was shot at like ISO 45,000 or something for that effect. But just keep in mind, high ISO, the noise you're getting is not repeatable and standard in the same way that ASA 3200 film was, where you would know the grain you're going to get from a shot. It's a noise pattern like a TV that has no reception from 20 years ago. So it's going to change. So take more than one, and I would suggest taking some at lower ISOs so you have a clean option in case you want to add the effect in post manually. I think, okay, Jason Baird, he really likes the tutorial of shooting the city. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's the one that's up at the moment, 90% off at under $10. And that will also be ending and then jumping up 90% as of tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in that, it's only like $9 or something. Thank you all for your questions. For those of you who are new, it's fine. This Q&A is intended for you to have the opportunity to get to know Steph and I. But if you have topics that you're interested in, to see if I've made a video on it already, or to learn more about Steph or I, jump to the channel. Make sure, please subscribe if you aren't already, but then search through and you'll find Steph and I have done dozens of videos together, and I have, 1,500 or more videos in total on loads and loads of different topics. So, if you're looking for info on the latest camera, then I've either done it or I haven't. But if you're looking for something on a specific, technique or a category of products, like a tripod buying guide or a flash buying guide or this or that, I've almost certainly done all of them. So check it out, and the information is generally still relevant. It is great to see so many whingers. It is great to see so many new faces in the chat, so thank you for that. And especially to those with thin skin who felt that they were being hated on by not getting their their questions answered soon enough. Anything else from you, Steph?
No, I guess that's it. You guys could go and check out my YouTube channel, Art School Dropouts.
They recently passed 10,000 subscribers. Say what?
I know. We still need to do a 10K video, which we haven't had the chance to because of COVID, unfortunately. But Joy and I were in talks of doing some stupid stuff for it. It's going to be really weird, but it'll be worth it. This is this is my idea, and I kind of regret it now. But yeah, I'll tell you after Matt.
Okay, I can't wait. Do throw her a follow. They put out some really cool content, although it's a little light at the moment for all of us with the options we have for filming. Yeah, thanks again, guys. Hope you had a great start to the week. Get your people shots in. We'll go through them on Friday night. Join us for a beer. It's always fun. Like, sub,
Take advantage
share.
of the sale.
Yes,
It's gonna end tonight.
that as
Get
well.
it.
And we'll see you then. Ciao, guys.
Bye, guys.